There's a lot of pressure when you're writing a best man speech, you know. Should you be funny, you know, should you be emotional? So I decided to do mine in a style which I'm very comfortable. Here goes. Are you tired of boring weddings and lame receptions? Well, now there's Bill and Suki's ultimate wedding experience. With Bill and Suki, you get not one, not two, but 3 fun and exciting wedding events. A wedding ceremony, a wedding reception, and their patent-pending Chinese-themed after-party. But wait, there's more. Just for joining us, you'll also get a delightful sit-down breakfast tomorrow morning. Act now. I'm kidding, but all that is true. Bill and Suki do have an excellent series of events they set up here for everybody, and that's really nice, given that some people have traveled here, you know, from a foreign country, from far away. And I'd like to say a few words of welcome to them now in their native dialect. Hope I don't mess this up. Canadians, welcome, eh? No, seriously, we do have Suki's family here from Hong Kong, China. That's a very far away flight. I know, I've done it many times. You know, it's one of those flights where, you know, you go to sleep and you wake up. You have 3 full meals, you read 2 books, you watch 3 movies, and then you go, oh great, only an hour's left to go. No, it's a really long flight, and I want to give a round of applause, welcome them here. And say to them, 你好，欢迎你们. Actually, the language of Hong Kong is Cantonese, but it's a difficult language, and if you say one tone wrong, it changes the whole meaning. While I was trying to practice my Cantonese and say, you know, the same thing, welcome honored guests, I kept saying the equivalent of, welcome dumbass. So I scrapped that one. I won't do that instead. Moving on, I want to speak briefly about my best friend Bill, tell you a little bit about the man that I know. But let me say this, it's not going to be a roast or anything. I'm not going to tell you any sordid stories from Bill's past because Lord knows I could end this whole thing right here. Seriously, so if you go to cash, I'll give you that file later. So here's the story of how Bill and I became friends. I was in the Army National Guard, and one day this massive Marine shows up and reports for duty, and the sergeant asks somebody to show him around, you know, show him the Army way of life. And despite the fact that he had, like, you know, no neck and his knuckles kind of dragged on the ground, I volunteered. Call me crazy. I think the other guys were kind of afraid that if they shook his hand, he'd like tear their arm off like some kind of crazed gorilla. So I had to step up and do it. And after a while of, you know, trying to communicate with him, I noticed that his grunts and ooh-rahs sort of formed a primitive language, and we were able to communicate. And I discovered that Bill was actually an interesting and intelligent guy, and he also loved to debate, just like me, and our debates became legendary in the Guard. I mean, these were real, all-out verbal battles. You know, we would go away on these long trips, and we would fight on the bus all the way down top of our lungs, and people thought we were going to kill each other. But then after we get back, you know, we go have a beer, the best of friends. It really freaked people out. And anyway, Bill eventually entered the acting on TV business. Some of you are from that business, and through a series of events, it got me a job in the industry. And it was through that job that I met my lovely wife, Asia. And we have 2 beautiful children, Alia and Xavier. And you know, they love their Billy Bobo and their Aunt Suki. Yeah. So let's see, my career, my wife, and my family, you know, besides those minor things, I don't really owe Bill much of anything. I mean, we've had some good times, Bill, but what have you done for me, really? No, the truth is that Bill's that kind of person. You know, he's a great guy, he gives himself constantly, never asks for anything in return. And he has many other wonderful qualities as well. You know, he's very passionate, he has a wonderful sense of humor, he's great with kids. You know, if it wasn't for the whole sex thing, I would have married him myself. Seriously though, Suki, Bill's quite catch, and you're lucky to have him. And Bill, you're definitely lucky to have Suki for sure. Anyone who knows Bill knows that despite all the nice things I just said about him, he can be hard to get along with sometimes. So Suki is and from my experience I know she's a remarkably patient and accommodating woman. And you know she must be someone special if Bill has agreed to spend the rest of his life with her. And to explain what I mean, I will tell one story, one little story though. 1 year before Bill and Suki met, Bill went on vacation to Hawaii. And he took his current girlfriend with him. And I guess it was supposed to be like a week or a week and a half trip. About 3 days later, I got a call. Man, this was a huge mistake. I don't know if I can take another day of this. I'm considering swimming back to the mainland. So it's a real testament to Suki that in all the years they've been together, he's never once told me he wants to swim back from Hong Kong. So here's a toast to you guys. May your love for each other always endure, and may God bestow upon you his richest blessings as you go forward as husband and wife. Here's to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to call upon our groom's Uncle Joe to say the blessing. Joe?
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? We are gathered here to join the Ing family to the Corliss family, and the two shall become one family. We thank God for this union, and we wish His blessings on our new couple. And we ask that you stand for a minute so we'll say the grace. Direct us, O Lord, in all our doings with thy most gracious favor, and further us with thy continual help, that in all our works begun, continued, and ended in thee, we may glorify thy holy name, and finally by thy mercy attain everlasting life. We ask God's blessings on everybody who's gathered here, and all the friends and families. We ask God to bless the hands that prepared the food, and we hope that we will be able to use this food to His glory and to the betterment of all our families. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, your first course is just about ready to be served. Please find your seats and enjoy. The music will continue.